Welcome back to Voodoo Vince's mystical journey through the Crypt City.
Huh. So when do I get my, so when does the Crypt Keeper get a cameo appearance?
I actually would love that. The last I heard is that apparently there was a, oh, hello?
Oh? Oh, you again. I still don't hear any sort of relevance to this guy's other performances, like Pepper
Oh no,
and whatnot.
it's such a completely different. Again, I'm glad they like allowed him to like really like stretch his chops.
Yeah. I mean, I have to imagine what the process for auditions was like.
My only guess was that maybe it was more so the accent they were looking for. Also, how are you and them dogs doing?
Yeah, sorry if you're hearing them. My folks just got home, and I guess they're either begging for attention or begging for food. Which I fed them. They just want human food.
Perhaps both. So, yeah.
You know, if Goof Troop has taught me anything, is that you should never feed your pets too much human food. Otherwise, they get very super fucking picky.
Yeah.
So what the heck was that? What?
A
Oh.
tornado.
Oh, okay. It's like, oh, ow. But
And
you only
the classic needles.
an age-old classic.
Yeah.
Just puncture them straight through the middle.
Yeah, as you're learning, like, honestly, like as far as combat goes, even as a kid, that's basically what I thought is combat in this game really just boils down to get as many enemies grouped together and just lay into them with the voodoo powers because as you see, like, they still spawn the
Oh, jeez. Oh, nice. Thank you, Vince, for having a lunch grab.
Because, like, as you saw there, like, they spawn the voodoo magic beads anyway, so, like, that just allows me, like, you kill them, you get the ability to refill your meter and just keep that chain going.
I guess I should ask real quick, even though we're already like, what, 4 parts in? How frequent do they get with enemy spawns, let alone a reliance on any sort of combat?
Well, I'll say right now that the good news is that all enemy placement is scripted. The only time it ever gets like randomly like, oh, how many enemies are gonna put here? It only gets like that if it's like if you're like dealing with like an enemy spawner, which only happens once every blue moon. Otherwise, fortunately, the bulk of this, the bulk of this game is placed more so like there'll be like a group of enemies right here, but again, just ignore them for now. Let's see what this new power up is. Blender.
Ooh.
Hey, look. Will it blend?
I guess not.
Turns out it can. For you.
But nice. See, right away, already got my voodoo power back. But beyond that, fortunately, the game is far more wanting to put the focus on the puzzle platformer elements,
Which is good, because again, if your combat's nothing all that expensive, you may as well just place your focus more on something else that will get the kids' attention.
So yeah, as far as like combat goes, unless the gimmick is a gauntlet like that Mole Man section was, Les Cassie's corpse. What was he blathering about?
Good question.
Who knows? But what was it? So unless the puzzle is a gauntlet like what we saw, the enemies are really more so there to get in the way of the puzzle platforming. So once we get to the first half of this level's gimmick, it's really only incumbent upon you to kill enemies if you think they're going to get in the way of your jumping.
Something I think would be pretty interesting regarding your special meter is that maybe on the rare occasion, like maybe you'll come across a box or or any sort of great.
Whee!
Well, at least this looks a little more easier to handle than Spring Mario. Never mind.
Oh,
You said it right. It's just a little stiff. Make sure it's one of those things where it takes a little bit of momentum to get yourself going, so make sure you're holding forward before you reach the edge of that ledge, otherwise you're not going to reach it. But at the very least, it's a very brief time we have to be in Spring Vince mode, as opposed to Mario, where they did that gimmick perhaps a few too many times in Galaxy 1.
well, I think didn't they only use it in like 3 or 4 missions?
I feel like they did it more than just 3 or 4 times. I want to say it was used on at least a small handful of galaxies.
Well, I
They
say
had
that because
a
I
few
don't.
bonus rooms.
Well, I say that because I don't remember it being used as frequently as like some of the other Mario power-ups.
And
You use it more than
got it.
Boo Mario, if that means anything.
That was the only reason why. Oh, the timer.
Timer.
I'm flying.
Oh, ow.
Oh.
Swing and a miss, buddy.
Through the wall. Not in
So this part. So first off, I actually wanted to miss so I can get these cards. Second of all, as a kid, this was part 2 of why. This is part 2 of my least favorite things to do in this game. Is so what's happening there is, you need to you gotta like thread the needle. It is there because as you saw, you slam into that wall. There's no hovering. There's no spinning to get a double jump. You need to aim for that small hole in the wall and just beeline it.
Otherwise,
And-
splat.
Yep, and the reticle, it works closer to like say the cannons in Mario 64 do, where
Also, there's
you
an
know,
arc.
Yep, there's an arc. So the silver lining the silver lining is that when you hop into the cannon, it will automatically remember where you were last pointed at. Nice. So say if I did a shot and I was like a little bit off, I just have to go and say, okay, correct it by a little bit up, and thus. Yeah! Don't ask how that worked. Anyway, zombie guidance counselor.
You know what I'm suddenly reminded of looking at these things? They kind of... you know what? I feel like I've seen them in like... There's like 2 other things I can immediately think of that these things remind me of. One is like the... Have you ever seen the original, like the American box art for Dr. Mario on the NES?
Yes.
They kind of look like the viruses in that. And secondly...
They do, yeah.
You know what? Kind of a looser example, but the Fiend in Pac-Man World 3.
Possibly.
Laxative.
Oh, we're gonna give him the screaming shits.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay. Also, the gimmick behind this level is you're basically trying to... It's like a tug-of-war game. I need to get more spirits in my in the real crypts than the imps who want to put the zombies in their crypt in the center.
Oh.
So, whichever zombie is lit up, that's the one we're trying to guide home, be it the football player here.
Ah, okay.
And so we just take the light orb and put it at any old crypt and now start summoning the zombie. But there you go.
But the imps are likely going to try and take it from you.
Yep, and they will be infinitely spawning while you do that. So just you know, plant the flag and defend it.
Gotcha.
So, how to put it? And this is the only gimmick level for this world, fortunately. I'm trying to think. After Crypt City, we actually are coming up to one of my favorite worlds in terms of like its theming after this. But for now, I'll get rid of you guys. But yeah, sorry. You were saying something about the imps earlier about the whole how they look like the viruses. And
They look like the viruses, like the American design of the viruses from like the original box art for Dr. Mario. And then for some odd reason, mostly from their facial structure, I'm partially reminded of the Fiend from Pac-Man World 3.
Oh.
That spherical thing that honestly
actually-
looks like would have been a more convincing villain than fucking Irwin.
Yeah. Also, what I'm doing here is it looked like she was closer to this crypt than the other one was, so let's see. I don't know. I don't know. It's probably a grab bag either way, but yeah. So beyond that, to beat this level, just get best 3 out of 5.
You know,
And we feel good
for a brief moment, I saw one of those statues, and I almost thought to
Hey,
myself,
William Tell.
"Oh, hey, William." Ow! Right in the eye.
Damn, that's my good eye too. Anyway, continue.
But crap. What was I gonna say? Do you think we'll
About
find
the Fiend from Pac-Man.
Well, no, that's already covered. I remember what I was gonna say. Do you think we'll find Dance Crypt anywhere around here?
Zombie herd. Is there anything
Maybe.
lower,
Yeah, I mean,
professionally?
again, like this tone, Jackhammer.
Ooh.
Again, like the tone of this whole game really does like give me that same kind of like I don't know. You could absolutely replace Cosmo with Zarok, and I could buy it still fitting.
I will admit, if this was a medieval game, I could honestly see that if it would feel like a weird little middle ground between how. Oh, what's this?
This is that thing I was talking about back in, I think it was part 2.
The
This is
all-seeing
our
eye.
big upgrade. So now, if ever I'm in Vin's eye perspective, or first-person mode, and hold the left trigger, this.
Oh.
It basically gives me wall hacks and lets me see every collectible in a level.
Clever.
So think of this as, you know, the equivalent of using the Bowser amiibo in Odyssey to figure out where those last dang purple coins you missed were.
Oh man, if only we had something like that in the game
How's
proper.
that sound?
Oh yeah, I'd be able to just see them all, but yeah. So, also, believe it or not, we're already at the last level of this world. We just need... We just need to, first we need to figure out a way to light this lamp. Then we can start work on solving the puzzle of Downtown Crypt City. But yeah, you're saying about if this were a medieval game, that...
I could tell the tone of this game already feels like it's a weird little middle ground between how the original Medieval portrayed itself and then the more, like, stand-up comedy-ish nature of Resurrection.
Oh, right.
Where it really played up the humor a little too much. Like,
Yep.
this definitely feels like more of a middle ground, where it's definitely plays up more of the humor, but not quite in the, like, the ha-ha laugh, like, look, this is funny sort of way.
I get you.
Yeah, no, they're more so laughing at the ridiculousness of, like in the sense, like, they're not calling attention to itself to do stand-up, they're more so just like, yeah, I mean, you're playing a 10-inch voodoo doll, running around in New Orleans, I mean, were you expecting a riveting, Naughty Dog emotional plot?
Actually, yes, I was, and I do believe all narratives need to be like that.
You are the reason why no one appreciates the Cuphead show.
I don't care. Why can't
Yeah,
they
no,
be
straight-
more like She-Ra?
You know, straight up, I was a bit bummed that's like all the reviewers like, I don't get it. Like all these shows, they just weren't up to snuff. They just, I was expecting a more riveting, story-driven single-player narrative. I'm like, first off, the Cuphead game didn't even have much of a narrative. It was just beat the bosses.
I mean, that's
Beat
also
the
like
devil.
another common critique that I've heard. Also, just as a heads up, if you do hear any, like, you know, loud noise in the back, my stepdad's working on a slight renovation in the living room.
That'll be fine.
And
Yeah,
second off, it's funny that you compare the game, because that is like one other critique that I hear about it that I feel like holds a little bit more levity, not by much, but there are some people that felt like that there were some elements in the game that they would have liked to have seen incorporate into the show, mainly like the combat.
I mean, who knows? Maybe they're saving that for finale where they must get powers from Chalice or something. And
Right, and
So-
I mean, I'll give the show this. When it came to the game, like that was just something you kind of just got on a whim, thanks to Elder Kettle.
right.
Otherwise,
Oh,
they
yeah,
were just
'cause,
living.
yeah.
They were just living pretty ordinary lives.
And technically, they're already explaining now how he had those power-ups, because, yeah, he was in the war. And
You know
planted
what?
way too many C4 explosives in the house.
You know what? Now I want a flashback to like an actual war day with him, and he's not even like holding a weapon. He's just constantly snapping at someone and shooting out bullets.
Jeez. Whew. Yeah, no, I can see that. So welcome back, Hype. I was just now saying that to the last level of this world. All we have to do is we just need to get all 3 of the lamps pointed at the bell.
Well, the bell's
Right, it
ringing,
looks like
so
the
I
light-
think you more or less did it.
And we gotta make it ringing faster, but unfortunately, according to that clicking timer in the background,
What?
yeah, there we go. Yeah, unfortunately, they hightailed it out here, but I can
Damn.
at least aim this guy ahead of time.
All right.
Before I do anything else, I'm going to... oh crap, where did I leave that net? Oh. I found a secret.
Oh. Maybe this is where I'll find All Reliable.
All reliable?
All reliable.
Nope, just a pit to hell.
Oh. Some pit, huh?
Yeah. Space junk.
Space junk?
Earthworm Jim may finally be here. I'm still curious about how that show's gonna turn out.
Me too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what sort of footage they'll give us in the coming months, if not
Yeah,
the
it's
next
like,
year.
I want to know more about the direction the show's going, and I want them finally to announce who it is that's voicing Jim, because we don't know anything about the guy voicing him.
They haven't done not even any sort of like, yep, that's me, I'm the guy.
As far as I know, no.
Huh.
They've been keeping pretty hush-hush.
Jeez. Well, I mean, yeah, no, I'm with you. There we go. Just, I really want to see like how I want to see like where they're going with it. Like, is it going to be as zany, random as the Dan Castellaneta one was, or are they really trying to go for like a Buzz Lightyear of Star Command kind of tone?
Well, it definitely feels like, from what I can tell, the humor feels a little bit more. This probably isn't the right word, but it's the only one I can think of. The humor feels a little bit more like dry compared to the cartoon and even the games to an extent.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it's going for something a little more casual.
And again, now you got all these new characters like that nerdy worm, the girl worm, the bull worm. There we go. And bam! Since
Let's
I've
try
already
that
aimed
again.
At the bell, since I already aimed at the bell, all three are going nuts, which means the final crypt, the mausoleum, is open. Thank you. Hold your applause. So, yep. With that said, I'm gonna show this off. Just double check. Oh yeah, and also to explain the hype, we got a power-up that I was talking about previously where it allows me to see all collectibles in a level with wall hacks. It's very helpful. Oh boy, this boss.
Rat Race Rodeo.
Yep,
Rodeo.
this is how we're gonna... What the?
We just literally ride a rat straight up.
Hey, what's all this?
Huh?
Owner of this mausoleum.
Oh.
Oh boy.
The Big Mama.
Big Mama indeed.
So, here's how this boss works. There is a pit beneath us that eventually, if we don't want to fall into the pit, otherwise we die, just straight up. What we want to do damage is jump over the shockwave, and then look for where rocks are going to fall, and make sure we wind up underneath one.
Should the patterns on the floor mean anything?
Yeah, because I was about to say, I keep mistaking
it means
for
this.
holes.
Ah, I figured it was going to collapse.
So be very careful. Jump. And I'd say the most annoying part about this boss is that you ultimately have no real way of knowing when you have no idea when the rock's going to start falling, and you are constantly moving forward.
Right.
So you could So you could wind up in one of two. You could wind up in one of two possible scenarios where you need to jump to avoid her shockwave, but you'll just jump right into a pit because there's no safe ground ahead of you. Or you'll be moving so fast that you'll just miss some rocks falling from the ceiling because the most you can do is speed up. You can't actually brake or control your speed. So, right here. Yes!
Also... Okay, thankfully we're not seeing it here, but I noticed earlier this fucking rock maiden had jiggle physics.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I don't know why.
I feel like Stone shouldn't have that.
Yeehaw!
Cool.
Well, at least he put in the effort. And the rat's like, well, that's the end of my importance.
Yeehaw.
Perfect.
Oh.
Oh, also, this tune you're hearing right now, it's like a post-boss theme, and I do like it. I will say I like the music of this game a lot. Giant
Mallet. Oh, I guess we're not going to see Space Junk anytime soon.
Nah, it's going to be random. And welcome to Brusque Manor or something. I don't know. It's basically a straight up, I guess tonal-wise, it's basically like Haunted Mansion. Like, like one of those, like, New Orleans Square, like, Victorian manor houses.
You must help. But first, there's a dog to contend with.
A dog?
He can't hurt you, but he can keep you from entering the mansion.
I'm sure it's a nice little pup.
Also, how what's the word? How sloppy of Cosmo to literally spill all that zombie dust in this household.
Just the magic and the corruption, and it's either that or, for all we know, maybe he was always a little creepy like this, and we're only just now noticing.
Also, yay, vinyl!
Yay, I'll take that.
Let me guess. Is this going to be? Are we playing off the age-old myth of music calming the most fierce of beasts?
Oh no, it's gonna frickin' piss it the hell off. But the good news is that just like with a bear, you don't have to run faster than the bear. You just gotta run faster than the dude who's with you with the bear.
Well, what if the dude that's with you with the bear is running just as fast as you?
Pray.
Yeah, pray that you both can keep up.
So here, so before I actually get to the puzzle, we'll show off the reason why the puzzle exists. Because if I try to just stroll on in as I normally would,
Out of the way, pupper.
Hang
I
on.
got big
I
boy
wanna
business to carry out.
Let me get this fast travel spot first. There we go. Okay. Now step aside, 4 legs.
Oh,
Did you
nice
say 4 legs? I don't take kindly to that slander.
Ugh, I don't want to play fetch
Ah.
anymore.
So this is how it works. It's like we have to basically oh, hang on, make sure I'm not missing anything, and just some zombie dust bags. We're good. So it's basically like that part of Paper Mario where we have to control this guy, the record player, and look, the doll starts playing,
Oh.
and the dog gets pissed off at that.
Oh, it's a decoy.
Yep. And now we run before the dog finishes playing with the toy, and we're in.
Oh,
Join
just
us
like
in the
that.
next part. Join us in the next part as we're going to see what Brusque Manor, I believe that's what it's called. If not, I will learn later. We'll learn what is going on in this haunted mansion.
Till next time, everybody.
nothing personal, doll. It's just you or me.